Gallup has begun tracking some new numbers on Americans' views on spending, which is obviously a critical dimension as we look at when the economy is going to recover. And we're finding some things which I think lead to some fascinating conclusions. First of all, some good news. A couple of questions about spending in one's daily life show some optimism. Do you have enough money to buy the things you need? That's the question we've been asking. You can see a large majority of Americans say yes to that. Also, did you worry yesterday that you spent too much money or not? And a large majority reject the idea of worrying about money. So on a daily basis, in terms of needs, Americans seem to be getting along all right. But let's look at these questions where we ask about controlling one's spending, trying to cut back, and here we find the opposite pattern. A significant majority of Americans say they are trying to cut back on how much they're spending every week, and also we have a large percent of Americans who agree with the statement, you are watching your spending very closely. So let me just review here. This is what's interesting. We have Americans saying they have enough money for what they need. They're not worrying daily about money. But on the other hand, they're trying to be careful with their money and monitor their spending. Maybe one other question explains this. Here's the wording. Do you agree or disagree? Quote, you have more than enough money to do what you want to do. Note the word want there. And here we have a significant majority of Americans who disagree. In other words, although Americans may have the money they need, they don't appear to have aspirational money or enough money for what they would like to do or want to do. My bottom line out of looking at these numbers, and we're going to keep monitoring these in the weeks and months ahead, is that Americans on a daily basis doing okay spending-wise, but they are trying to monitor their spending very carefully and have concerns about buying things that they may want rather than need. All of this, of course, spells good news for retailers who are marketing a discounted type product, such as Walmart. It probably doesn't spell as good news for retailers who are trying to be aspirational in their sales, that is, retailers for high-end luxury goods. I'm Dr. Frank Newport, Editor-in-Chief of the Gallup Poll.